First things first, please like and subscribe. That way, when I post the video, you can be alerted and you can view it and let me know what you like, what you don't like. Today, I'm going to do a video on dating as a single mom. I do have experience. I'm a divorcee with 3 children of my own. So I'm not just lecturing or talking just to be talking. I do have experience dating as a single mom. And the one thing I can say is I learned that as a single mother, you have to date with a purpose. Meaning that you have to date with the intentions on having a long-term mate or a husband before you start bringing men around your children. If you're newly single or you've been single, you're dating, you have a child or children at home, unless a man has potential to be in your life forever, don't take him home to meet your children. Go to the movies with them, go out to dinner, and tell him ta-ta and let him be on his way. You don't want to bring just anyone around your babies. You know, you don't want men coming in and out of your children's lives. Situations like that can cause childhood trauma, which I discussed in another video. You know, anything that a child goes through as a child will follow them into adulthood. So dating as a single mom is a huge responsibility. You know, you have to understand that your children have to be a big part of that. You know, you have to keep them in mind every time you say, yes, I'll go out with you. Or, you know, anyone you bring into your child's life, or you're even thinking of bringing them into your child's life, has to be someone that is not only going to have love for you, but is going to have love for your children as well. Bringing someone into your life who is going to treat your children like stepchildren isn't doing any good to them. You know, of course, they have their father. But when you bring a man into their lives who is supposed to love and cherish them just as much as they love and cherish you, they cannot treat your child as if they are a stepchild. They have to treat your child as if with an abundance of love, as if those are their babies. You know, a lot of times you bring men into your children's lives before you even get to know them. And once the breakup happens, your kids are traumatized. You're heartbroken. Vet these men before you bring them into your children's lives. Interview them like employers interview you when you go for a job interview. You know, you have to set standards when it comes to dating and your children. When the time comes that you decide, okay, he's good enough to meet my babies, you have to set the standard on how you want him to treat your children. You know, if you go in and he sees that you're cursing at your children and yelling at them and trying to get rid of them so that you can spend time with him, how close is he going to be to your babies? He's going to look at your children as a burden, because he's going to think, oh, when I come over, she's shooing them off into the bedroom, into the backyard, wherever, so that she can spend alone time with me. So if you decide to keep him around or possibly marry him one day, how much is he really going to love and invest in your babies if he sees that you're not completely in love and invested in your babies? Common sense. So set standards when it comes to your children. You know, sometimes we date men who don't have children or have children, or we have a child by them, and their family treats the child that we have by them better than they treat the child that we brought into the marriage or the relationship. Set standards for their families as well. In the beginning of the relationship, you make sure that your future in-laws know how you expect for your children to be treated in their family, how you expect for them to gather around your child as if that child was of their bloodline. Set those standards in the beginning. No one wants to be in a relationship with a man who has family who is not going to treat the children that they've had with another man, their ex-husband or ex-mate, with disrespect. Children don't deserve that. Children deserve to be loved, whether they're stepchildren or not. I would say that you have to pay attention to how he treats your children. If he isn't willing to love your babies the way you love your babies, or as close to it as he can get to it, toodles to him. Get rid of him. Bringing a man into your home that is going to make your children's lives difficult isn't going to do you any good in the long run. It's going to make your children despise you, despise him, despise his family. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your children. Don't do that to your future mate. Though, get back to in-laws. Tell you a little story. I have a friend who is a stepchild. Her mom met her new husband, and a few years after they married, they had a child of their own. All this time, my friend knew that the new husband's family just didn't like her. And who doesn't like children? But the new husband's family, mother, sisters, had told the child, had told my friend, you're not one of us. She heard that on numerous occasions. Who makes sure that a child knows that they are an outsider in their family? That situation has turned my friend into a person who's cynical and, just a little standoffish and with her feelings, her affection. It affects you as you grow into adulthood. So I would say, set standards. Setting the standard on how you want your children to be treated by the new man's family and the new man will make a huge difference in how your children feel about life in general, living and being kids, and how happy they are, as children. And I will say, you have to allow your children and a possible long-term mate to develop a relationship that is just theirs. You can't always be at the head dictating how their relationship goes. You just have to be at the head dictating on how well your new mate treats your child, how well your new mate's family treats your child. New relationships are hard for children. Having someone new come into their home changes the whole dynamic of their relationship with their mom. It changes the whole dynamics of the household. You go from having your mom to set and eat breakfast within the mornings to maybe your mom sleeping in a little bit later because now she has a man. Make sure that your time is still divided enough to where your new man, your new husband feels like he is your everything, but also make sure your children know that they are still your everything. And it's difficult for single women, single mothers to do that when we get into new relationships, but it's something that we have to learn how to do. Our children should never take the back burner while we place our new mates on the front burner. Children should never be ignored because of a new relationship. We should always make sure that we are dating with a purpose and setting standards and making sure that everyone knows these are my babies. Either love them, love us, or let me go.